Hey guys, so today we're going to be doing 2.3e, that is page 98, and we'll go into 99, possibly 100 depending on how long it takes to get through these. So I kind of did these already, so basically this is review. We're going from point to point finding the slope. So from here down to here was -6, and then from here over to here was +3. So we had a rise of -6 and a run of 3, which I reduced to -2. Then I was about most of the way through this problem, and then had another teacher come in and things just got wonky, so I just restarted. And then this one we start here and here. So from here we have to go up 1, 2, and then we had to run 8 over to this point. So our rise over run would be 2 over 8, which we can reduce to 1/4. So then let's go to 3 and 4. So 3 and 4, same thing, except we are going to be plotting the points ourselves. So the first one is 4, 1, 2, 3, and 0, 1. So we're finding the rise over run of this line here. So to rise, I would have to go up 1, 2. Since it's up, it's a +2. And then I have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 to the right. Since it's to the right, it's a +4. So my rise over run is 2 over 4, which I can reduce to 1/2. And then, in our last one here, we've got 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. And -2, 1, 2, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So my rise first, I have to go down 1, 2. Since I'm moving down, it's a -2. And then I have to go run 1, 2, 3. Since it's to the right, it's a +3. So my rise of -2 over 3. So hopefully that was review. This next portion, however, is something a little bit different, new. So we're given points in a line and basically on a graph, but we don't have grid lines to count. So that's what makes this challenging, is we have to think of a different way to find our rise and run. So when I look at these points, I know that every point is made up of an x and a y, right? So we can kind of gauge how far we're moving. I know that y's control my up and down, and my x's control my left and right. So my rises are controlled by my y, my run is controlled by my x. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to start here and say, how much does it take to get to this other number? So to get from 1 to 3, what do I have to do? I have to add 2. So a +2 would be my rise. So then I'm going to do the same thing. To go from 1 to 3 on my x values, I'm adding 2, which is a +2, and then I can do my rise over run here. So 2 over 2 is just 1. So I can do the same thing in number 6. So I'm going from 2 to 8. So how do I go from 2 to 8? I'm going to add 6. So since it's an add 6, it's a +6. My x values, I'm going from 1 to 4. So I'm going 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm going up 3. Then I can do my rise over run. 6 over 3 reduces to 2. Number 7, we start to get into some negatives here. So for my y value, I start at -1. How much do I have to go up to get to 2? So from -1, I have to go up 1 to get to 0, and then 2 more to get to 2. So my rise is going to be 3. Then my run, I'm just going from 1 to 2. That's just +1. So 3 over 1. My run, or my slope, is 3. All right, we're going to jump to the back, where we're going to do a lot of the same stuff. So I'm going to keep kind of following that same thought process. So I'm going to go from 2 to 6. To go from 2 to 6, I have to add 4. To go from -3 to 1, I have to also add 4. So my slope is 1. 4 over 4 is 1. All right, this next one, I'm going from 3 to negative 2. Okay, so that means I have to go down 3 to get to 0, and then down 2 more. That's down 5 total. So it's going to be a negative 5 there. All right, and then 0 to 4, so 0 plus 4, that's my slope right there, negative 5 over 4. In the next one, a little different, right? So we've got negative 4 to negative 1. So that's like a plus 3. And then our run is the same, so it's 0. And hopefully we know by now that when the 0 is on the bottom or if a line straight up and down, that is an undefined slope. Then in number 11, on the left side we have 3, and we're going to 3. So the rise is 0. The run, we're going from negative 6 to 1. So that's 6 to get to 0 plus another 1 is 7. So my slope is 0 over 7, or to make it a little bit simpler, it's just 0. Then in the next one, we're going from 0 to 2. So my rise is going to just be plus 2, and then my run is going from negative 4 to 2. So my run is going to be 4 to get to 0 plus 2 more is 6, and 2 over 6 reduces to 1/3. And then lastly, for number 13, we have a rise. We're going from negative 6 to negative 2, so that's a plus 6. And then we're going from negative 10 to positive 10, so that's 10 to get to 0, 10 more, which is 20. And then 6 over 20 reduces to 3 over 10. All right, then let's go down to a little bit below here. So it says graphing points can be time consuming. It's not always our best option to be graphing points. So what can we do to kind of make a shortcut? What can we do so that it doesn't take that much time? And what we can do is just exactly what we just did. We can find out how much y changes. We can make that our rise. We can find out how much x changes. We can make that our run. And then we can find rise over run without having to graph any points. So that is one way you could do that. One way you could say for number 14, that's our procedure that we're going to follow. Okay? And then discuss our slope formula here. So what does it mean? Basically, how does it work? What we're doing is we're taking our y values and finding the difference, which is exactly what we were doing in these graphs. We are finding the difference between these 2 points. So we are going to introduce you to this formula of change in y over change in x. So this triangle is a Greek symbol for delta, and basically in math it means change. So this just means change in y over the change in x. That's all it means, and we're going to use that to kind of save some time. Okay? We're just going to do the change in y over the change in x. And then on page 100, I'll just do a couple of examples here, just so you guys can kind of see it in action. So in the first one, it's all done for us. We've got our points. We did it using the slope formula. They already did it with the change in y over the change in x. So you have a little example there. This next one I'm going to do. So the first thing I have to do is graph these points. So negative 1, 2, 3, negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 6, 0. 1, ooh, some of these are hard to see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm calling that 6. These grid lines are kind of difficult to see. So then what we can do is we can use our slope formula to figure it out. So m equals, and then we have x1, y1, x2, y2. We can put those into the formula. So I've got my y2 minus my y1 over my x sub 2 minus my x sub 1. So 0 minus negative 6 is plus 6, so positive 6. And then 6 plus 3, because 2 minuses make a plus. So 6 over 9. And then that's going to reduce to 2 over 3. So that's with our slope formula. Now let's just do it with just the numbers, our change in y over the change in x. So I'm going to look at my y values. To go from negative 6 to 0, I have to add 6. So that's my change in y. I'm adding 6. My change in x goes from negative 3 to 6, so I'm adding 9. So you'll see that this matches exactly what we got from our slope formula. Then we can also reduce this to 2/3. In number 19, we've got 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 3, 1, 2, 3, so there's a point there. And then we have negative 5, 9, negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What? It's going to be like way up there. All right. So let's use our slope formula first to find slope. So I've got x1, y1, x2, y2. So we're going to do 9 minus our negative 3 over negative 5 minus 4. So 9 minus negative 3 is 9 plus 3, which is 12, over negative 5 minus 4 is negative 9. So negative 12 over negative 9 reduces by 3, so 4 over negative 3. And then, this is the last one I'm going to do, change in y over the change in x. So let's see, negative 3 to 9, I have to go up 3 to get to 0, and then 9 more, so that 9 plus 3 is 12. And then I'm going from 4 to negative 5. So that means I have to go down 4, and then down 5 more. So that's down 9 total. Again, you can see that this matches exactly what we got from our slope formula, just saving some of this work here. We can also reduce that in the same way to get 4 over negative 3. I would like you guys to do number 22. And then that is it. Thanks, guys.